Hi, and welcome to CHE100, Chemistry for Life Sciences. I am Sarah Shoemaker, and I am the instructor for this semester. Since I am pregnant and due to give birth in November, early November, about half the course is going to be online, which is why I'm delivering this initial lecture and the syllabus introduction online to sort of get you in the get you used to this sort of format, um, and also to provide you with a rewatchable source of information, particularly this one as I'm going over the syllabus. All of the important information that you need to know in the class, a lot of the questions you will have are answered here in your course syllabus. Okay, so keep it on hand, be familiar with it, read it a couple of times. And I will go over the important parts for you now. So the first page of the syllabus just goes over details about the class, what time it is, where the classrooms are. The most important thing on the cover is my contact information, my email address, and my office phone number. Please feel free to contact me anytime. Also on here are my office hours, which students are always welcome to come see me during office hours. Please don't feel like, you're a burden or you are shy about coming. Don't be shy. I love having people come and chit-chat, even if it's not necessarily about chemistry. But I'm also have other hours where I'm available, aren't designated office hours, but if I'm around, come see me anytime. For Ticonderoga students, my email is the best way to contact me, or my office telephone. You can call me. We can chat over the phone. We can even set up some kind of a Skype or video conference if you need more direct sort of instruction, help. Also on the cover is the textbook information. If you have not already gotten your textbook, you need to make that happen ASAP. You can get it at the bookstore, you can get it online, there's probably a million different places you can order these books. And for those of you who are getting it from the bookstore, the book comes bundled with this online Mastering Chemistry software, which I do not actually utilize in the class, but you can feel free to explore it and utilize it yourselves. I think it also includes the ebook, if you are someone who likes to use ebooks. If you purchase the book elsewhere, you don't have to purchase that software. You can just get the book. That is all I require of you, is to have the textbook. Also, you will need to have a scientific calculator. I have it down here as a recommended material, but it really should be a required material. You will want it for testing. And you should probably bring it to class because we'll work math problems in class as well. If we're in class time, I don't mind you using your cell phone as a calculator, but for testing situations, that will be strictly prohibited. You must use an actual calculator for tests. So good to go ahead and get one. Alright, so those are the things you need for the class. The next page of the syllabus goes over the course objectives. So what is the purpose of this class? And the purpose is really to be a gigantic and superficial overview of all different types of chemistry that will help you in some of your future classes, like anatomy, physiology, pharmacology, for those of you who are nursing, going into nursing, to help you in a future career in allied health, etc. So it's really the first, and I can say this now from experience, the first semester of anatomy physiology, which I took over the summer. The first couple of chapters is basically this whole course distilled down into 2 chapters. And a lot of students struggle with that in A&P, trying to learn a whole course of material in a couple of short weeks for a test. So people who have taken this class really have a leg up, particularly at the beginning of A&P 1. It will truly be a review for you after taking this course. The student responsibilities. Essentially, this class in particular chemistry can be challenging for a lot of people. I love it. I think it's very interesting. I think it's fun. I try to make it interesting and fun for my students, but it's still a lot of work, and I do my best in the hour and a half twice a week that I have with you to explain these concepts, but a lot of the work is going to be done on your own. You need to read the book, and you need to do the homework problems. You need to practice this information. Even if you think you understand it in class, you need to practice it at home. So my job here in the classroom is to try to explain the information so that when you get home, you can learn it better and retain it better. That's that. Academic integrity policy. Any form of cheating or plagiarism is grounds for immediate failure. I have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to cheating. There's really no plagiarism in this class. We don't have any writing assignments, but any kind of cheating on a test. But again, it's somewhat difficult in my class. Internet access. This is key. This is a key point here, since half the course is going to be on the internet. Since I will be moving the course into an online format, into this YouTube lecture format around midterms. And so you will need to have regular access to the internet in order to watch the lectures. You also need to have regular internet access to be able to access lecture notes on the portal, your grades on the student portal, to access emails. I send out emails a lot. I forget to say things in class, so I might send out an email. And I expect you to have regular internet access. If you don't have a computer at home, or your internet at home doesn't work, there are labs, computer labs on every North Country campus, and so there's really no excuse for not having computer internet access. If you don't have one at home, you need to be able to schedule time to be on campus to access the internet as needed. All right. Next page goes over how I evaluate this course and grade students. So your grades are based on basically three big things: your tests, a take-home midterm, and the final. Okay, so basically all tests are your grades. There's no writing assignments, but you'll notice here that I have homework listed under the grading section. Okay, homework, what I've decided to do this semester, is not a required component of the grade. I'm going to make it a bonus component. So if you do all of the homework in the chapter and you turn it in, you can earn 2 test points for each chapter that you turn in for a test. So for chapter 1, if you do all of the homework problems, and there's, I don't know, maybe 60 to 80 homework problems per chapter, and half of them have answers in the back of the chapter. I think it's the odd questions have answers. So if you can complete all of them, turn them in on the test day, that's 2 points towards that test that you'll get bonus. So homework really is a part of the grade. Not only does it add bonus points to your test, but it also improves your understanding and your skill so that you actually do better on the test. So I strongly, strongly encourage you to do the homework, all of it. If you turn in only the odd problems that are at the end of the book, you will not get credit for that. But if you complete 50 out of 70 problems, both odd and even, and you turn that in, I will award some level of partial credit for that. If you didn't get through quite all of the problems, or if there were a couple that you just didn't understand and didn't get a chance to ask me about. But the point is, do the homework. Do the homework. My tests are hard. The best way to study for them is to do the homework, and it will actually add to your grade. Tests are challenging. They are all short answer. They cover 3 or 4 chapters at a time, so that's a lot of material. It's really a lot of material. And you're not allowed to have a cheat sheet. All you're allowed to have is your calculator, and I'll give you a periodic table as well as a conversion chart, which is actually just the conversion of conversion factors that are from the back page of your textbook. We'll go over that before the first test, but they are short answer, they are difficult, they require you to know your stuff, so do your homework. The midterm will be a take-home, and you will not be allowed to work together on that take-home test, but it will be a take-home, so that will be slightly different. And the final exam in the class, which is worth a quarter of your grade, 25%, I think it's really a true assessment of how much you've learned, how much you've retained from the class. And it's a different format as well. It's going to be multiple choice. And I do provide you with a study guide for that. So I try not to make it too overwhelming because it is comprehensive. I do try to provide you with a little more guidance for that than maybe for some of the other tests. Attendance, again, not something that's listed as part of your grade, but it can contribute to your grade. Attendance at North Country Community College, the attendance policy is attendance is mandatory, and excessive absences can result in a reduction of your grade. So homework, do the homework, it can increase your grade. Don't come to class and it'll decrease your grade. If you have more than 5 unexcused absences, that is grounds for failure of the course, even if you're passing. Though I have to tell you, I have never had a student who had 5 or more absences that I had to fail based on their attendance, because they all failed based on their grades. If you don't come to class, you are probably not committed to learning, and you probably don't know the material very well, is generally the trend I see. So come to class, it's very important. Especially, I really feel, especially for this class, which the material is difficult for a lot of people, it's new for a lot of people. I like to think that I'm pretty good at explaining it. So make sure you're coming to class, and during the second half of the semester, make sure you're watching the lectures. There might be a couple of you who can get by with just reading the book and you understand it, and that's great, but most of you are really, really going to benefit from coming to lectures and having this material explained more quickly than you could probably read the chapter. So, and attendance. My big thing with attendance is if you're not going to be here, if you can't be here, if something comes up, let me know. Just let me know. That's all I ask, is to respect me and this class and your classmates and the class environment by giving me a heads up. It's the same thing if you have a job. You would never just not show up to work. You'd always call in and let your supervisor know, I'm sick, I can't come in today. I got into a car accident, my flat tire, something like that. Just let me know. Send me an email is the best way to do that. If you don't let me know within 24 hours that you are missing a class, then if you miss a test, if you miss some assignment that's due, then you will not be allowed to make it up. You must contact me if you want make-up opportunities for anything, and if you want your absence to be considered excused. All right. The last page talks about my maternity leave, so I will be out for the second half of the semester. At some point I will be giving birth during that time, and I'm going to be sort of transitioning the class over around midterms, so we'll start doing video lectures around midterms, but I'll still be around. I'll still be on campus if people have questions. But during this time, during the time when we're going online around midterms, lectures will be online in this YouTube format, and I have a whole handout for you that you should have in front of you about watching lectures on YouTube. It gives you instructions on how to register for a YouTube account and to find my channel and to find the lectures for this class. And that's how you will be doing attendance during the second half of the course. So attendance, you don't have to actually be on campus. During our class time, you can watch the lectures anytime you want. At 2 o'clock in the morning, you can watch it once, you can watch it 10 times. It's up to you. But you do not have to attend class during that time. You do have to attend tests. Tests will still be in the same short answer format. They will still be in class. There will be a proctor present who will administer and collect the tests, and who will also be able to collect any homework that you did for bonus. So you must report to class for test days, so make sure you mark your calendar and remind yourself during that time that you need to be showing up to class. The last thing in the syllabus is very valuable study tips that I strongly encourage you to read. Read the book is listed first, but really I think do the homework should be listed first. Read the book, do the homework, then read the book again, actually, is what I have. Because the first reading, especially with science can be very heavy. It can be hard to sort of process all at once. So a good idea for a good approach when you're reading science textbooks is to just do a quick skim the first time. Just kind of skim through it, see what the topics are, what we're talking about. Maybe look at some of the the bold vocabulary words. All right. Then attempt to do the homework problems. And as you get to a homework problem, if you don't understand what the question's asking, you go to that section and you read it more carefully, okay? And then you come back, answer the homework problems. Then, oftentimes, reading the book again after you have read it the first time or after the lecture, when maybe things are starting to make more sense and you're primed now to get more out of the chapter, that's a good time to read the book again. So, another important point, which I made already, is come to class / watch the lectures online. Particularly for this course, I think it's very important for success. And I always like to put a note on here about office hours and asking for help. In this class, again, particularly, a lot of students struggle with it. Keep up with the reading and the homework. And if you're having trouble, just ask. I love explaining this stuff. I think that in a lot of ways this is my favorite course that I teach. It's my favorite material. It's sort of what's biochemistry was very close to home for me. So in terms of my training, and I really like talking about it because I'm a big fat nerd. So really stop by anytime. I also really enjoy getting to know my students in this semester. With only having half a semester in the classroom, it's a very short time to get to know people. So please feel free to stop by and say hello during office hours or to come by and ask questions, either one. And then my last tip is to form a study group. If there are enough people in your section, and hopefully there are, get together with other students and study for tests together, do your homework together, help explain things to each other. Teaching is an incredible way it's the best way to learn. So if you work together, you're learning, but you're also helping to teach your classmates, so you're going to actually learn it even better. So those are my tips for getting through this class. The end.